Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thank you for watching. I know we have followers who watch from New Zealand, a place that I know well, Colombia. I love seeing all the different places from around the world that you are watching. If you are not located in the US of A, I'd love to see you represent your nationality below in the comments. Why don't you hit me up and let me know what country you are watching from around the world. So today we are going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk, is this the meme coin? Is meme coins going to overtake and steal from Bitcoin's thunder here in the cycle? What can we learn from meme coins have been so closely correlated to Bitcoin? What can we learn from the memes versus Bitcoin narrative in this bull cycle? And I did talk about meme coins in my show just a couple of hours ago. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. That will be available on this channel. It went live a couple of hours ago. Okay, so before we do that, of course, smash the likes. This does help get this channel out to more people and does help support the channel. Love all the comments and questions that get left below. Appreciate all of you that take the time to write those kind words. I do read and respond to those, and I do get back to those questions as soon as I am able to. Of course, as well, I get asked, where is my cheat sheet? And if you're new to the show, where is my cheat sheet? This is my crypto roadmap for success. It is linked below in the description of this video and every video. If you just look below, there might be a more button that you have to click, description there. Then there will be the link for that. There's also the link for the Stocks with Josh Discord, the most incredible Discord on the planet. Amazing people in there. I'm in the crypto channel there daily. I have my own Crown Traders channel, and you can get signed up for that. There are different plans below in the description. It's also in the cheat sheet as well. All right, well, let's jump into our memes versus Bitcoin narrative. And here we go. The graphic actually shocked me when I saw it. He said, every time meme trading volume surges, it marks a Bitcoin top. Is this time different? It's interesting to note also that memes are about almost 90% correlated to the price of Bitcoin. So they're very heavily tied to the price of Bitcoin. So if that was to continue, if Bitcoin was to drop, memes would drop as well. And so we can see here when the memes were really a meme token trading volume overlaid with Bitcoin price, you can see the big spike in volume. And is there a top? Although this spike in volume here, it's the same as this one, but nowhere near as high as that one there. So certainly we could see a bit of a pullback at some point. That doesn't mean a pullback's going to be coming or coming at all. We just seem to be like a rocket ship taking off into space there. But I thought that was some interesting outlook on that. Memes versus Bitcoin. Is this something that's giving us a little bit of a warning? And I always say, look, have a profit-taking strategy. Don't let emotion, and have that profit-taking strategy in place before you even make the trade. Know where you're going to be taking profits. Don't leave it to guesswork or emotion. We do see something interesting happening here for the first time in Bitcoin history. The exchange reserves are declining during a bull cycle. They've not hit levels not seen since 2018, with institutional and nation-state adoption growing. So this is something that historically has not happened before. Are we in for a supply shock? And do we see some more upside here for Bitcoin? Can we go up and tag that 100K level, that 96K level? We're going to look at the charts in a moment and see what might be going on there. And of course, we do see in the Bitcoin order book here, we see 6,900 Bitcoin limit orders down to about 88,000. And look what happened. This was posted just before we had the drop yesterday, and those orders kicked back up on the price. However, I wonder what orders are there now if we come back to that price. Below that price, there's 13,500 limit orders down to 84,000. That is the thickest buy wall. Of course, sometimes you got to keep up to date on these. These orders can be removed, but for now, those orders are there and would provide some good support if we were to lose that 88,000 level down to about that 84,000 level, which is where a Fibonacci level is there at $83,000. And then, of course, I really love this analysis here that in 2013 it took 6 weeks of upside into price discovery before Bitcoin experienced any pullback. In 2017 it was 8 weeks, and in the 2021 cycle it rallied 4 weeks into price discovery. So that's an average of 6 weeks. In this cycle we're at the end of week 2. This was posted yesterday, so now we're in week 3. So therefore, based on this historical data, we could see another 3 weeks of upside to hit the average. If we base it off the last cycle, that would be 1 more week of price discovery before a pullback, okay? So if we haven't seen a pullback, 4 weeks has been the least, 8 weeks has been the most, 6 weeks is the average. So somewhere between, you would think, in the next, if we're at the end of week 3 here, and we've got 3 weeks in the cycle, it's the end of week 2. Sorry, week 3 starts tomorrow, so we've got 4 weeks there. So we're 2 weeks in. So do we have 2 weeks, then a pullback, or 4 weeks and then a pullback, or 6 weeks and then a pullback? What's your thoughts? 2, 4, or 6, or longer? Is there even going to be a pullback? Is Bitcoin just going to keep going up, and are we going to have an early finish, therefore, if that happened, to this bull run? Well, let's jump into the charts here and see what we can see with Bitcoin. As you can see there, the Fibonacci, we've held this Fibonacci level. We came down and there were some buy orders there. There's those buy orders that I just showed you at $88,000. And that's why it's important to know this data. And I have all this information and links to where you can find this information. Where can that be found? In my cheat sheet, of course, that is below in the description. There are a lot of tabs. I got asked yesterday, oh, where's your stocks tab? Down there, I can only see crypto. Oh, where's the stocks cheat sheet? It's in the same cheat sheet. There are just tabs along the bottom. There are 12 tabs along the bottom. That's my crypto roadmap for success. But right now we are holding this 87,800 level. And of course, if we come down here, so where would I get out of a trade if I wanted to sell Bitcoin, which I'm not going to, if I was in a leveraged long position, or if I was swing trading Bitcoin, I would look to get out on if we break down here and we retest, and I'd probably drop to the 15 or the 5 minute, maybe the hour chart, and a break and a retest. And then that could be a rejection there, and then I could get out of the trade. And of course, I can always get back in the trade on a break and a retest and hold above. Super, super easy. Of course, we have that 83 level. You saw those orders in 84. Sometimes it can put your orders a little bit higher. If you put your orders a little bit 87,800, well, we actually came down to 88,600, I think, was the low there. For 88,700. So sometimes putting your order there can kind of help tag that. But of course, I do feel at some point we're going to come down and retest this level. This hasn't been retested at all. So I feel that we are more likely to come down and retest these levels. Even the 79 level didn't get a retest. And if we're really honest, did 76 get a retest? It doesn't really look like. In fact, I don't even know if our all-time high there got a retest down all the way to 73. And I'm not saying that we're going to come down to 73,000 there, but we can play it level to level and see how Bitcoin reacts and responds from level to level. And if we look at the liquidation levels here, let's just start at the smaller time frame, 12. We're looking for this bright yellow, and look what happened. This is what I said yesterday. Not yesterday. This is what I said on Saturday. I said, look at the bright yellow levels. The brightest levels tend to get taken sooner. Now, where are the brightest levels? We're up here. That would indicate to me a possible pump up to $92,000 to $93,000. We can go on the 24-hour period. Let's have a look. Again, the bright levels got taken. It was just so easy, and I've given you this, the CoinGlass app. As a free download. I've shared that before. You could also find this website address in my cheat sheet, and you can have this up at all times and be taking a look and seeing what is going on. The 48-hour time frame, we came and got this level here, and we came and got this level here because you can see on the 24-hour time frame that was the brightest level. Right now, the brightest level is there. Maybe we go to the weekly time frame, we can see what we can see. And again, look on what happened on the weekly time frame. We actually came up and got that level first before then we came and got. So we got the longer term leveraged shorts before it came down and tagged the shorter term, and that's why I look at it on different time frames, the shorter term leveraged longs there that got tagged right there. And so this would seem as an obvious level that we could come up and take, but we don't know, because there might be a whole bunch of longs that suddenly open up and suddenly this goes bright. This is why you got to keep an eye on this and to see if in the next hour or two this becomes a lot brighter than that. You also want to keep an eye on the Bitcoin dominance as well. We've got the tribal trades trend line strikes again. I would like for it to lose that trend line, reject under it as resistance, and we would look to come down the 50-day moving average at about 59.18%. I'm really looking for it to lose this low, 58.56 there. Then we would be creating a lower low. Of course, if we come down here and come up and do not breach, or I don't want to see this breach, which is 61.15%, that would be creating a lower high. And if we can create either a lower high or a lower low, this could be the start of a downtrend, and the money could really start to move into the altcoins there. So Bitcoin dominance is another one to really keep an eye on with that. We also want to keep an eye on the open interest. We can see that the open interest is being, if we go to the daily time frame here, the open interest, you can see the price. We are getting pretty high up on open interest there, and that is the amount of money, leveraged money in the market, and this can be flushed. And certainly if we do see a flush, we could see price come down there. You can see whenever there is open interest goes down, you can see the price goes down there as well. We know that the fear and greed index is quite high. We're in extreme greed right now. We also like to check the funding rate. It's starting to get a little cooked there. Not too bad. If this gets to 10, you'd be jumping out, but we're at 3% there, which is actually 30% there. So we're starting to get up there with funding rates. So some of the warning signs are starting to show. We do have more longs than shorts. Last time we looked at this was about 50-50. So we keep an eye on this. Again, coinanalyze.net. This link is in the cheat sheet under, I believe it's the resources section there as well. So we keep an eye on these indicators. These does help us identify these local tops and local bottoms to help us get out at the right price. But we are looking for this $96,000 level to the upside. If we do tag this, and obviously if there is a rejection there, that could be a place to take in, lock in some profits. Of course, if we do keep going up to this level, next level up there is around the $104,000 mark. I would expect we'd see some kind of resistance at 100,000 actually as a landmark. That would be a bit of a sell the news event, and that could see us come down. But of course, remember this, 4 years ago, this week, this is where Bitcoin had a 15% correction, but eventually recovered all of that correction by the end of the month. Then we had the Christmas rally, okay? So that is something to keep in mind. Of course, this cycle is a little bit, doesn't mean, history doesn't always repeat, but it often rhymes, and we don't always have to have it repeat the exact week or the exact time here. Obviously, the November high has come in the last week of November, historically from the 21st to the 30th of November. So that would, and we got Thanksgiving, and if we want some Black Friday sales, we may have that drop. And there has typically been a drop, but just when that drop happens, and we could rally all the way to 104,000 before we have that drop. We could rally all the way to 96,000 before we have that drop. And maybe that drop doesn't come. Maybe this is the drop here, the drop from 93 down to 88. Maybe that was it, a $5,000, whopping $5,000 drop. That's just only a few percent. And so let's just watch the charts. If support holds, then we stay in the trade. If it doesn't hold and we drop down here, then we see how this level reacts. And if this level holds as support, or it gets flipped and turned into resistance, and we keep playing the levels. Let's not be people who keep buying the dip and the dip keeps dipping. If we buy here and we dip below and we retest and reject, we can just simply get out of the trade and get back in at the next level. We can get out where we got in. and so forth until we find a bottom if there was to be a drop. Of course, we want to see what happens. So far as every time it's come down to this level, this has held as support, and we have tested about 4 times. If we were to see it bang away another 3 or 4 times, then I would start to feel this area would get weakened, and the possibility of coming down to this level to 83K does become a lot higher. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up for there. And of course, as always, remember the 50-day moving average is all the way down here at 70,000, and it is slowly moving up. Generally, after a golden cross, which Bitcoin had at around just near the end of October, it does usually historically come down to retest that 50-day moving average. However, it can retest it at 73, at 76, at 79, even at 83, possibly if we got higher, and then it would finally come back for a retest. So when you do see Bitcoin hit that 50-day moving average, and if it responds really well to it, that can also be a wonderful entry. Also, if we ever happen to come down to the 200 EMA on the daily. All right, we're going to wrap it up there. And as always, until the next episode, happy trading.